Right guys, welcome back. So in our last video we saw how to compile our assets and add a navbar, showcase and a footer to our page. So in this video we're going to see how to create a form using Bootstrap. We're going to create a new post route and give it a name. Then we will call the new route from the form. We are going to see what is CSRF or cross-site request forgery. We're going to add a CSRF token to our form, and we are going to check the request parameters sent from the form. Okay, so the first thing to do is to create a new form. So I'm going to open our project. Here we are, and we have in resources views, we have our contact page. So here we have to add a new form, right? So let's go to Bootstrap. And we're going to search for, Bootstrap form. Here we are. And here we have an overview or an example. So I'm going to copy this and paste it on our contact page and see how it looks like. Let's serve our application. PHP artisan serve. Okay, let's try this out. Call host. And if we go to contact page, here we have our form. As we are using Bootstrap, as we saw in the last video, this is using Bootstrap as well. So here we have an email address and a password. So in the next few minutes we're going to change this. Let's go back to our list, and now we have a form, and we have to add fields using Bootstrap. Okay, so for example, for a contact form we can use a name from the user, of course an email, a subject, and a text, which is going to be the inquiry, right? So let's add this. I'm going to take the password away and the check as well. Okay, so first of all we need to look for, I'm going to rearrange this. Okay, I'm going to add a text field. I'm going to use div class form group as we are using Bootstrap. I'm going to copy this. And we have name, and here this is of type text. An ID of name, and name in this case is name2. So we don't have a describe section, for example here. We want to keep this for the email field but not for any other field. So I'm going to erase this and for a placeholder, for example, enter name. So let's see if this works. Great, we have a name field and an email address field. So we have to add a subject, which is going to be another text field, and a text area. So for example, this is subject. This is text as well. Name, we're going to use subject, and for the ID too. And for the placeholder, of course, enter subject. And the same for the message, okay? So let's see how it looks. Okay, now we have our name, email, subject, and message. So take a look at this. Maybe we want a large field for the message. So if you're going to Bootstrap page, we have an example text area. So I'm going to grab this, which is the code for the text area, and we're going to replace this code. So now we have, again, message, name, message, and ID message. And I'm going to leave this with 3 rows. So let's see how it goes. Great. Now we have a bigger area to write our message, and we can resize it from here. Okay. So now we have our Bootstrap form, and now I have to create a new post route and name it. This is because we have a form here, and to send the information in this form, we need to make a post request. So the action of this form would be post, and we need to put a link to send this information. So this would be the method post, and the link would be action. So for example, we could create a new route called contact/submit. Okay. So now we have to create a new route. We're going to route web.php, and I'm going to create a new post route, which is going to be contact/submit. Okay, so let's try this out. For example, with an OK message. This is saved. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm going to submit the form, and we have an error. This is a security error, and as you can see here, we are going to see what is CSRF and add a CSRF token to our form. So now I have created a new route, called the new route from the form, and we're going to see what is CSRF. So let's go to Laravel CSRF. And here you can see that Laravel makes it easy to protect your application from cross-site request forgery attacks, which are a type of malicious exploit whereby unauthorized commands are performed on behalf of an authenticated user. Okay, you can read more of CSRF if you want. So to prevent this, we only have to add this directive within our form. So let's do this here. And if we test our form again, great, now it works. Of course, we are testing this and it's working okay, but it throws us a warning that this will throw an error in a future version of PHP. So let's change this for example 1, 2, 3. I think this would be the same thing. No, okay, it works. Okay, so behind the scenes we have, if we inspect the source code, we should see here in our form this variable, input type hidden, so we are not seeing it. The name is token and we have a value. So this is the same as at CSRF. We can put an input hidden variable here or just call this magic method from Laravel Blade directive. Okay, great. So we saw what is CSRF and added a CSRF token to our form. Now, for example, we can name our routes. Okay, let's see here. We can give this route a name. Take a look at this. We can search for Laravel routes. And here we have a section called named routes. So it says named routes allow the convenient generation of URLs or redirects for specific routes. And you may specify a name for a route by chaining the name method onto the route definition. So let's do that here. For example, name contact form submit. Now we don't have to remember all of our application routes. So instead of putting contact/submit here, we can call the name of the route. So every variable that you're putting here in the Blade files should be between double curly braces like this. And now we can call the route function and just set contact form submit. Let's save this. This is saved. And if we refresh the page here and inspect the code again, you can see that the action is actually contact/submit. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's a more clean way to do it. And of course it works. And it helps you to organize your code, because if you change for some reason, this route, for example, to this, you don't have to search for contact/submit on every form you use it, because you are calling it for the name. So this helps you in your development. Okay, let's go back. So maybe you should name all of your routes. Okay, I'm going to do this now. So this would be home, this would be contact, and this would be about, of course. Okay, great. And you can see that it is working as well. So let's check this out again. And now we have to see if we are getting our parameters in this instance. Okay, so as you can see here, we're sending a name, email address, subject, and message. That's why we added the name attribute here. So if we go to our routes file again, here we can return a request all. So what is this? Request is a global variable that you have here in Laravel that contains all of the request information that you are receiving from the page that's calling this route. Okay, so here we are receiving a request from our contact form, and I'm going to show all of its parameters. Let's see if this works. And now we have, as a JSON form, we have our token, our name, subject, and message. So we don't have the email here. I think that's because we don't added a name. Yeah, I didn't change this. And the name attribute. Oh, sorry, we have to refresh the form, and now we have our email. So there is a nicer way to see this, and it is with the DD function, which stands for dump and die. So this will dump the request all variable and then kill the application. And now we see it as an array. Okay, so this is a cleaner way. We have a name, email, subject, and message. And if we add data to it, for example, John Doe, john@doe.com. This is the subject. Hello, this is a test message. So let's submit this. And here we have our data. So indeed, we are receiving our data. Now, in the next video, it's time to manipulate that data. Okay? So let's check this item out. And as you can see here, in the next video, we're going to see controllers and validation. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I see you on the next video.